Okay, welcome to Trigger Me D or Trigger Me Do. I'm not sure what to call it. It's when you get triggered. Hi, I'm Lauren. I think I should call it Trigger Me D. Oh, what a great name, Lauren. Can I present it? Is that okay? Trigger Me D. Trigger Me D, I like it. I love the vibrations, Lauren. Do you think I could present Trigger Me D or Trigger Me Do or whatever? Look, the vibrations match all the colors in my hair. Woo! Oh, come on, guys. You know it's me who should be presenting it. Short red. I get all the views, as everybody knows. Everybody loves red. I think it'd be better if you called it Trigger Me Do. Trigger Me Do, because then people know they have to trigger you. You know what I mean? Not Trigger Me D. It's too much like Riddle Me D, Lauren. And I think I should present it. After all, everybody loves my beautiful long locks, and more people, especially men. Oh, come on, Lauren. You know I should be presenting it with all my beautiful long goddess locks. But I'm not sure whether you should call it Trigger Me D. I think Trigger Me Do, because then you're asking people, please do trigger me, because Trigger Me D is too much like Riddle Me D. Oh, I'm not sure, but I think Trigger Me Do. I really do. Oh, there you go. It works. Trigger Me Do. I really do. It all fits, doesn't it, Lauren? You know what, Lauren? I really think that I should present it. After all, you get most of your views when I'm on, don't we? I'm not sure what to call it. Mini Trigger Me Red do, because then it could be my program. Oh, come on, girls. You know that I'm the one that gets all the views. After all, you do watch the ratings when I'm on, don't you? I think, well, I'm not sure. Trigger Me Do, Trigger Me D. Oh, but as long as I can present it, Lauren, do you mind? I mean, come on. You know you're going to get most views when I'm on. You know what? I don't give a shite if you call it Trigger Me Do or Trigger Me D or whatever. That stupid cat keeps me out with that me all the time. Now, you triggering me and I'm miserable. I'm even more miserable. So don't give a shite if it's blondie or it's red or it's the cat down there, that Ellie, that presented stupid Trigger Me Do. I'm just presenting my humility, right? But never mind that, and I'm miserable, right? Hate that team song. What have you done with it, Lauren? Shut up on Irish. Team. And you should be working in a team. Will you start fighting all the time? Red and I think Sally. Now to me, Sally would be the choice. She's the sexiest. She's got a nice, gentle presenting voice, right? Sally, that's my choice. None of that. Sally. For me, why can't I present it all? You know, if I present it, you're not going to get any views. Or you're going to get all the trolleys. That's all you get with Bob America. Someone call. It's Sally here. Oh, I would love to present Trigger Me D, Trigger Me Do, Trigger Me Read, Trigger Me Rue, whatever. Oh, did I get the lead in Cabaret, by the way? You never actually notified me, Lauren. But I'll do my best. You know what? I would love to present this new program. Will you let me? Maybe this time I could present this program. Me. Right. As moving on TV is all about peace and not bickering, I'm going to be the one to present it. Fiddle Me D, no. Trigger, take again. Trigger Me D, Trigger Me Do. What difference does it make? Will trigger me D. It's all about being triggered. And I am Lauren Hope, here to present it in all my identities and all my glories. And I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it helps you to not get triggered or to learn how to deal with your triggers, not to struggle with them, to embrace them the same way as I embrace all of them. Thank you. Bye.
The thoughts I have of you, you're always on my mind. Circling round my brain, it happens all the time. I close my eyes and...
Hey guys, my name is Lauren Hope Glory. I'm the CEO of Moving On TV.
The anger you display, I really cannot take. Want to break the barriers that you and I would make. There'll always be a part of you down deep inside. In the corners of my heart, you're always on my mind. Wish we were together, not all alone. Wish we were together, not all alone. I try to follow all the cycles of the night. Up and down the feelings go, I know it is right. Reaching out to touch your love, but emptiness is here. Wish that you were here again. You'll always be there.
Why am I all black and white? Whatever. Anyway, my name's Bob Alberta. This is me vlog. Me vlog day one. Staying one day at a time. I'm sorry, I've only got a white towel. I'm at Janie's and I've got a nice new shower cap.
Right. Reaching out to touch your love, but emptiness is here. Wish that you were here again. You'll always be there.
Hey guys, welcome to Moving On TV, and this is your mental health station, believe it or not. Where we have fun. Yeah, we let go, we have fun, we're creative, we do whatever we feel like. And so today, it's all about, we're on lesson 72 today, believe it or not. Staysanedaily vlog, and I've been doing them regularly every single day lately, so we're on 72 now. And today it's going to be about cleaning up the mess. Cleaning up the mess. And I haven't got a clue what I'm going to talk about. It will come to me as I start talking to you. So thank you for joining me here on HAP, on wherever, everywhere but LinkedIn. Really grateful to be here. I'm Lauren and I run Moving On TV for you, for all of you. If you were watching the interviews yesterday, the interview with Maria Tomic, we talked about how can we use numbers in order to create more sanity in the world. Everything is about keeping you sane and balanced one day at a time. So today I want to talk about cleaning up the mess. And I'm on live. Can you get it? Thanks. Can you get the phone? Okay. So, cleaning up the mess. Thank you. Thank you. Cleaning up the mess. Cleaning up the mess. What does that mean?
And how does that keep us sane on a daily basis? Yeah. Well, I suppose what's coming to me here is decluttering. A lot of the time, we clutter our life with people that don't enhance our lives. Friends are not really friends at all because they're not really there for you. Um, you could look at your house and the mess, books, old things that you never look at, you never wear, clothes you never wear, the past. Yeah, I knew there was a reason why I had to do cleaning up the mess. And the other day I did the trigger me D or trigger me do or whatever, and came up with that silly little video for fun because I like to do things that I love every single day, which enhances my life, and you should be as well. So moving on TV gives me an opportunity to do that, and you can come on here and do that as well. So I'm really grateful you're joining me today because it's your TV station to come on here and do your programs. Use your creativity and build with us. Yeah. And stay sane because the most important thing, as yesterday, if we watched the interview with the lovely Johnny Dart, he told you, we have to use our talents and our creativity to stay sane. So today is cleaning up the mess. It's literally looking at your life and thinking, I don't need this. I don't know. I've been blocking a huge amount of people lately. I'm literally block, 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 block because I don't need it anymore. I don't need what my father would call in Yiddish cock drained or German. A German expression means drains the skull, drains the cock is the head, the brain. Whatever is draining your brain drains, get them out of the way, get them out of your life. If something is draining your head, draining your body, the body is a good barometer. And if something is not 100% in your body, then you need to look at it. You need to really look at it because the body will make you recognize it until you look at it. So don't let yourself get drained to the point that I sometimes get drained. And I'm going through something at the moment, which I'm not going to say. No one's business. It's not COVID, for God's sake. But I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to. But it's been healed as usual with me and my angels and everything else. But there's a level of exhaustion that when you get a level of exhaustion, you need to start cleansing things. And so you need to detoxify. And of course, I'm practically vegan. I told you happy 99% vegan. I'm just having some soup. And I know there's that 1% happy. The Sunday lunch or, the feta cheese or the egg that I have. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best, 99%, because I have to now, because it just doesn't feel right not to be. But coming back into what I'm saying, cleaning up the mess. If you have any kind of mess in your life, it's time to clean it up. And when I look around me, God, there's so much in this bathroom at the moment. This is here, everything is here, there, and everywhere. All my wigs are everywhere. And I really need to focus on getting this room cleaned, cleansed. I've cleaned up the lounge because that's the room I wanted to go to relax in, and I can relax in there with the cats. We can relax and meditate and watch Netflix and watch Amazon, watch whatever we want to watch and meditate because it's nice and clean and quiet. I've also tidied the bedroom. So, but the most important thing is, again, when I was a kid, I don't know about you, but I grew up, there was a program called Cleaning the Head. And they used to use Monty Python kind of animation in it. This was in Israel. It was called Cleaning the Head. Nikui Rosh means cleansing the head. And everything would be put out there. It was like parodies and satires of what's going on in the world. And so you need to do a massive cleanse. So guys, I'd recommend, if you're getting to the level where you've got loads and loads of friends and you don't know who these people are, and you don't even know if they're trolling you or doing your head in, literally, then get rid of them. Just block, 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 because your real friends will come through. Your real friends will be kind to you and loving towards you, so you don't need anything else. You don't need anyone, because if you're holding on to all of this, why? Why are you holding on to people that are not nice to you? Why are you holding on to people that are not on your consciousness? It just drains the head trying to explain stuff to people. It's okay. They'll see themselves. I mean, come on. Surely you can see by now the games that are being played on you. But anyway, I can't talk about that, can I? But the most important thing is that you need to take care of you. You need to cleanse your mind, your body, and your spirit. And as I say, I never know what I'm going to talk about. And I'm so grateful because people are joining us. And please, if you are real and not a bot, please subscribe to Moving On TV and come on board and join us. I'm having soup because it's really important to hydrate and to eat. Yeah. As Johnny said yesterday, you must drink water, lots and lots of water. So, cleansing the mind, the body, and the spirit. And sometimes we need to cry in order to have a good clear out. You need to cry. Okay. And if we're talking about the body, don't get constipated. I don't care. Don't get constipated, because the minute you get constipated, you're going to get ill. You're going to get headaches. You're going to get high blood pressure. You're going to get all sorts of horrible stuff happening in your body, because everything needs to flow. Okay, so if you're holding on, you're not letting go, you may actually get constipated. And for the body, the body is just a barometer of showing you of the fact that you're not letting go. And over the last couple of weeks, when I've started to surrender everything, particularly this week, it's all been about surrender, letting go, surrender, letting go, cleaning up the mess. I haven't been constipated because everything is flowing, so to speak. Right, December the 10th, and I bet you this is going to be synchronistic with tears. I know it is because I already looked at it. So it's not magic, it's because right. My tears have always been a source of shame. When I was growing up, I was told they were a sign of weakness, self-pity, and foolishness. Consequently, I grew up fighting and repressing them. In the past several years, I've slowly learned to accept them as an emotional release, and most importantly, a source of healing. When a grain of sand invades an oyster shell, it causes irritation. Immediately, the oyster secretes a liquid much like a tear. This liquid hardens and forms a glow, protecting the oyster from pain. The tear or liquid is called a pearl. So my tears too are a beautiful and wonderful function of healing. Help me remember my tears are an expression of my inner feelings, and they are okay. My tears are pearls. That made me think of a song actually. I'm not going to use the mic because I'm not going to be using the boom box. Until I've got batteries, because I can't be bothered with it, it's not working. But here's a song which was done by I think it was Elkie Brooks, who definitely sang in the what we call the vocal fry. And sometimes I like to put a song in there, as you know, just to solidify what I'm trying to tell you here. So what I'm trying to tell you here is tears are very important. Yeah, so that bot that's on there at the moment is obviously is a bot. They can't cry because they don't have a heart, like the Tin Man in the Wizard of Oz. He asked for a heart. But we're talking about cleaning up the mess, and the only way, a lot of the time, you need to cry. You have to cry. You have to let the tears flow, because if you don't, it's all going to build up inside you. And oh my God, can you imagine? It's like a dam. Imagine a lake that couldn't flow, or a river that couldn't flow. Can you imagine? Can you imagine a river? Think about it. A river that cannot flow. It's blocked. It would just explode. The water would be exploding everywhere. It would be filthy. There would be no flow, no flow. Imagine if your blood couldn't flow in your body. Imagine if that happened. You wouldn't be alive, would you? So you're cleaning up the mess by aiding the flow. And the only way sometimes to release, yeah, is by crying. We get unhappy and sad and hurt in all sorts of ways. And I'm trying to keep you sane on one day at a time here. Stay sane daily. I'm saying to you, you must cry if you need to. God gave you tears of joy and tears of pain. I love this at the end. My tears are pearls. Pearls, yeah? So it's a blessing. Your tears are a blessing. And here's a song about Pearl. Pearl's a singer. And play when she plays the piano in a nightclub. Pearl's a singer. She sings songs for the lost and the lonely. Her job is entertaining folks, singing songs and telling jokes in a nightclub. Pearl's a singer, and they say that she once was a winner in a contest. Pearl's a singer, and they say that she once got a record. They played it for a week or so on the local radio. It never made it. She wanted to be Betty Grable, but now she sits there at that beer stained table, dreaming of the things she never got to do. Oh, those dreams that never came true. Pearl's a singer. She stands up when she plays the piano in a nightclub. Pearl's a singer. She sings songs for the lost and the lonely. Her job is entertaining folks, singing songs and telling jokes in a nightclub. Pearl's a singer. She stands up when she plays the piano in a nightclub. Pearl's a singer. She sings songs for the lost and the lonely. Her job is entertaining folks, singing songs and telling jokes in a nightclub. Vocal bride. In a nightclub. Thank you. And there's Lauren's signature mark at the end. So, December the 10th, my tears are pearls. Cleaning up the mess. Let yourself cry, 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 cry. Here's another one. Particularly if you're a man, you need to cry. Clean up the mess. Let it flow. If you're a man and you don't cry, then you're going to hold it all inside, or you're going to drink. Cry, boy, cry. Or, whatever you're going to do. But you do need to cry, guys. Don't you think about the fact that you were given tears for a reason? There's a reason for everything. There's a reason for everything. When you're happy, the tears flow. When you're unhappy, just don't block them. Just because your family, your friends, you're not macho man because you don't cry, that's rubbish. Why do you have to be a macho man? Why should a man be macho anyway? You have to be balanced. You have to balance your feminine and masculine. There's no harm in that. It means you're caring. It means you have a heart. It means you have emotions. Yeah? Crying. You need to cry. It's important to cry. Cry, boy, cry. As I say, if you were brought up to believe that boys don't cry, then you're in trouble. There's another one, Tears of a Clown. Tears of a Clown. Smokey Robinson. Smoke in his eyes, he had to cry. Tears of a clown. Tears of a clown. Tears of a clown, not a crown, clown. You need to cry. You need to let go. You need to release. Oh yeah. Now it's a smile on your face. It's only there trying to fool the public. But when it comes down to fooling you, that's quite a different subject. Don't let my expression, no wrong impression. Baby, I'm sad, sad. You're gone and I'm hurting so bad. Like a clown, I pretend to be glad. Now there's some sad things that ain't too much sadder than the tears of a clown when there's no one around. Yeah. Oh yeah, baby, how if I feel to be carefree, it's only to camouflage my sadness, and only to shield my pride. I've tried to cover this earth with a show of gladness, but don't let my soul convince you that I've been happy since you decided to go. Oh, I need you so. I'm hurt and I need you to know. But for others to put on a show, now there's some things don't melt. That ain't too much sadder than the tears of a clown. When there's no one around. Yeah. Oh yeah. Tears of a clown. Woo! Yeah. And in the lonely room I cry alone when there's no one around. Tears of a clown. And send in the clowns. Cleaning up the mess. You can put on a happy face and pretend that everything's okay, but it isn't. At this moment, the way we're living, the whole world is clearing up a mess, a huge mess that we created, we manifested. The world created a terrible, terrible world, and it's been cleaned up now. It's all been cleansed. And so your job to stay sane on a daily basis is to look at the things that are making you unhappy. Yeah, as I said to you, make a list of the things that are making you unhappy and get rid of them. Because the minute you know what's making you unhappy, then you can go for your happiness. But you need to, first of all, release what's making you unhappy. If there's something that's making you unhappy, then get rid of it. If you go through your clothes and there's clothes there that you don't really like, that you are wearing them because somebody else said they like them or whatever, get rid of them, give them to charity. Go through all the books, Physician Heal Thyself. I need to do a massive clear out myself. But we're cleaning up the mess. And I am teaching you to stay sane one day at a time. Hello, John B. You see me. Thank you. I see you too. Clean up the mess. Clean up the mess. Don't go around hurting other people just because your life is a mess. Innocent people. Clean up the mess. Yeah? I'm tired today. I'm exhausted today. 7 o'clock, I've got an amazing interview with Ethan Sykes. It's coming on to talk about football. And I'm excited about it. Football is something I've never really got into, except my dad, of course, was into it, and Martin was into it. Me, I never, I only saw what's on the outside, but, the game itself gives people a lot of pleasure. And Ethan wants to talk about how passionate he is about football, and he's funny and he's a great guy. So he'll be coming on to talk about football at 7. And I put everything on here in order to help you guys get happy. But today I don't feel too happy today. And I'm not going to lie about it. I'm cleaning up my mess. I found out something today. It kind of shocked me, but it's like every day. Something else today shocked me. And I have to stay sane, and it hurts. It hurts. Every day it's like, it's a shock, guys. That's how we're living. We're living in shock every single day, but you got to stay sane. You've got to stay sane. You're here for a reason. You were given a life. You were given a body. You were given a life for a reason. Use it for the good of humanity. Do something nice for people. Do something nice for yourself. Yeah? Clean up the mess. Clean up the mess of humanity. You see, as I say, I never knew what I was going to talk about. I just knew that today, lesson 72 was Martin came over and we're separated. Whenever Martin comes over, he decides to do a tidy up. Just the way he is. And I don't want that. I don't want him to do it. But he feels the need to do it, yeah? And I woke up and it was like, clean up the mess, Lauren. Clean up the mess, Lauren. Clean up the mess. So he doesn't have to come over and do it. It takes some time, Lauren, to do some proper tidying up, to clean up the mess. Because the cats don't do anything. And I just about can do the washing up because I'm so tired, because I'm working on Moving on TV non-stop to grow Moving on TV. And I get it hurts that I work so much and then people come on here and say the most horrendous things they never say to anybody else. In the middle of the interview yesterday with Johnny Dart, I mean, God, I can't believe that. I don't know how YouTube allows this stuff. Because if I put it on, I got wiped off YouTube when I mentioned one of those people. I got wiped off Facebook when I said something and I mentioned a terrible time in the Jewish, in the 1930s, and someone who was in charge then. I got wiped off Facebook, and yet they're allowed to come on here and say whatever they want about me and my guests and the people that work on Moving on TV. And I'm tired of it, quite honestly, I'm tired, and I need protection. I need a moderator. I need someone who cares enough to moderate and to kick off all these awful people. Most people are moderators so that while you're working, they can kick off anybody so that these comments don't even get to you in the first place. Luckily, the comments only go on YouTube, so no one sees them anywhere else. Well, they started to come on here as well on HAP. I'm doing my best to stay sane, and my life is not easy. I woke up today, and quite honestly, I'm dreading Christmas. I'm dreading the whole festive season because it's just me on my own with two cats, and I am dreading it. I don't want anything to do with it. You know that this New Year's Eve was the last time I had real visitors that came to the house. Manuel and Vlad and Sharon came over New Year's Eve. We had a lovely time, and that was the end of it. A whole year. I can't believe how a whole year has passed, where more and more of my friends have disappeared because of their own stresses and their own depressions and their own, and then all the bullying came in and all the gaslighters, and God, it's been a year from hell in some ways, except it's been an amazing year as well because I've grown so much and I got so strong on my own. But I'm telling you, because I don't lie, I tell you everything. I'm very honest. I'm very honest. I could do with a bit of company over Christmas. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But a lot of you are going to be in this situation too. A lot of you, more and more, are going to be in a situation of intense loneliness. It's just going to happen. But I tell you one thing, in spite of the loneliness, I'm completely sane. I never take medication. I never will. Even though there's something that's going on now physically with me, I won't take medication. It's just not going to happen. I'm figuring it out. That's how I live my life. But emotionally, well, it's all connected. So I don't take medication. I figure it out. So I'm cleaning up the mess. And so I come on here and I try to explain to you that if I can stay sane, so can you, right? So can you. People come on and they don't really say who they are, and I'm totally fed up with it. It's just so dishonest. You know, if I go on, it's hi, it's Lauren from Moving on TV. Here I get like John B or, you know, God, just God knows who. Everything under the sun. People even imitate Moving on TV and come on with comments, derogative comments about Moving on TV. And, you know, it gets to you sometimes. And so I'm asking people to support Moving on TV, really support. Not just that, support Lauren, support me in some way. Support me, Lauren. Don't leave me completely on my own the whole of the Christmas and New Year. I asked the same last year, and as I say, Vlad and Emmanuel and Sharon came over, and it was beautiful. But this year, I don't see that happening because everyone's too stressed and too busy, and it's not going to happen. So, and I'm free and I'm honest, and because of that, I don't fit in to Martin's family anymore either. So it used to be very straightforward, the festive season. My happiest times were when my nieces used to come over from Israel, and they were like my little girls. And I used to go out and buy loads of presents and put up the tree and have a lot of fun for Christmas. That was my happiest times. And then they grew up and forgot that I existed, and that's how it is now. And of course, we used to go to Martin's. We used to go to my in-laws, and we used to celebrate. This year is going to be very hard for my in-laws, well, because my father-in-law died this year, only a couple of months ago. So my heart goes out to Martin and his family, but I won't be with them because I'm different. And soon they'll understand why I stand in my strength and my freedom. Soon they will get it. They will get it soon, and they'll say, "Oh, Lauren, okay, now we understand what you've been trying to tell us for years." So cleaning up the mess. I go on moving on TV, and I'm very honest with you, and I tell you the truth. I'm cleaning up the mess. I'm letting go, surrendering. It's very interesting when we did Trigger Me D the other day. I've had another huge, if you get triggered, guys, I think it's really important sometimes. It's your little child. Well, with me, it's my little child. It's always my little child. And all the bullying to me, I think where it took me is, you see, I couldn't sleep at night. I grew up with terrorists, just so you know, whoever's bullying me. I grew up with terrorists in the backyard, more or less. We were surrounded by orchards. And they used to come in at night and they used to kill the families around us. So my father used to sleep with a gun under his pillow. Okay? So you know, if you're bullying me, thank you. Because I woke up today feeling yeah, I woke up today feeling like a little girl in Israel, surrounded by orchards who couldn't sleep at night because terrorists used to surround us. They used to come in on boats, little boats from the beaches and also through the orchards. And I used to sleep on the balcony, right? This is why I'm upset from all the bullying. So thank you. You've triggered me and you gave me the answer. And by doing that, it's coming up and I'm crying and I'm cleaning up the mess. So, every time you bully me, you give me a gift to tap back into what's really wrong here. And none of you ever grew up like me. None of you ever will. None of you, your children, well, the way you're living now, it's getting close to that. But I literally couldn't sleep at night because I thought I was going to be murdered in my bed as a child, as a teenager. I'm not saying that it was true. It probably was the media lying, so they forced me to go in the army. The mess of my childhood. I'm cleaning it all up. And that's why I'm sane. That's why I'm sane. Because I don't run away from it. It hurts and I'm sad. You need to feel. If you want to stay sane, you need to feel and you need to cry. You need to let the tears flow. And so I sit here in front of you, not 64 years old, but 13, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17-year old in Israel. And I'm not ashamed to do this. I'm proud of Lauren. because this is how I teach. I teach you to cry, to feel. So anyone who bullies me, be proud of yourself because you brought me to my knees again and make me feel the real pain of growing up in a terrorist country. And it never got dealt with, and that's why it hurts so much today. But I'm saying it's not going to push me to take medication. It's not going to push me to hurt myself in any way. On the contrary, it's going to heal me, to heal me, to feel and heal and to feel and heal. Who would choose to live in wars and terrorism? I never chose that. I was too young. I left after the army, but I was too young to choose a life like that. Mum and dad thought they were going to live in the land of milk and honey. They were conned. They were lied to. It was all wars and terrorism and fear, panic. Horrible. I don't wish a war on any of you ever. Ever. There's got to be a better answer than a war every single time, because this is what it does to you. So all the bullying and all the harassment and all the stalking and the filth that they put on movie on TV last night when I was interviewing Johnny about the religion that I am and how I should have been annihilated and go back to, yeah, because that's where you should be because you're Jewish. And they came on with the name of the so-called leader that I can't say, who wanted to annihilate all me and my ancestors and all of us. They came on to movie on TV while I was interviewing, because if I was just an ordinary person, I'd say I can't cope with this. But because I'm not, I'm a starseed and I'm an earth angel and I'm a divine feminine, I use this in order to release the real bullying, the little child that lives inside me. This will go on Trigger Me D. This is a serious one. And so I feel it. And so you know what? I feel it. And I'm teaching you to clean up the mess. And if terrorists were attacking ordinary people and killing them, and when I was growing up, it was because they were brought up with hatred and fear. How can anyone murder children and a family? I don't understand it. They took their hearts out of them. They took them into camps when they were about 3 years old, and they trained them to become like that. I wasn't brought up like that. I wasn't brought up to hate Arabs. I loved Arabs. I had an Arab boyfriend, for God's sake. I wasn't brought up like that. I wasn't brought up like that. I was brought up to fear. But when I was old enough, I broke all the rules and I proved. Imad, my boyfriend, he was amazing. He was an Arab. I'm a Jew. We broke all those barriers. We cleaned up the mess. It was one of the happiest times of my life. An Arab and a Jew in love. It was beautiful. I cleaned up the mess. The little bits of mess that I could clean up, we cleaned it up together. It was the happiest time of my life. It's when I met Yasmin from Lebanon and they taught me Arab dancing and Arabic, and I'll never forget it to the day I die. It was like one of those novels, romance novels, a Jew and an Arab, like Romeo and Juliet. I loved him. He loves me. It was beautiful. That was the little girl that grew up in Israel and was taught to hate the man that she fell in love with. My family said he's going to kill you. He'll throw you in the water. He'll kill you. That's how you're brought up, with such fear. I'm cleaning up the mess. I'm cleaning up the mess. Luke Histon came on here, 19 years of age, 18 years of age, whatever, and he was talking about fear and love. The opposite of love is fear. False emotions appearing real. Every time the bullies come on, I don't feel it until the day after, and then I get a gut feeling, and I know that's the child in Israel. That's the Jew who was walked to their death. That's Lauren in the army. That part of me that was forced into a shed where they opened a whole lot of gas and I had to take my mask off. Yeah, that's what they do in your training. You don't know anything about me. When you bully me, you don't bully me. You bully Lauren, the identity that I am. So I'm cleaning up the mess by telling you, you carry on doing it, I'll just use it until I don't need you anymore, I expect, and then you'll disappear. But you're not hurting me, you're healing me. You understand? If you bully an ordinary person, you may push them to suicide. But with Lauren, she goes inside and she meditates and she figures it out. And she surrenders and she cleans up the mess that you create on Moving on TV and in my life. Any way possible. Like the phone that's ringing non-stop. Probably them. Big Productions. Ha 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 ha. Funny. Not funny. They obviously got nothing else better to do with themselves, so they have to ring me and annoy me. So the big lesson today, and I've got Ethan coming on at 7, so I really want to go and get myself into a better space. Ethan's coming up to talk to you about football. Because you love football. A lot of you love football, and that's good. That's fine by me. If it makes you happy, then I bring it on Moving on TV. And Ethan's a lovely, lovely guy. He's fun. He's like Luke. He's very young. And he's presenting a show about football. And it's going to be fun to listen to him. You know, when I was young, when I was little, we used to live above a football pitch. And we used to literally live above a football pitch. And I remember me and Dad used to sit there and watch football. Every Saturday, me and Dad would sit there and watch football. Every Saturday. I remember Maccabi I think was probably the group Dad supported, but here in England, Arsenal. My dad was English. Well, he was Irish, but he grew up in England. And his team was Arsenal. And when he was dying, I gave him an Arsenal shirt. And he remembered. He remembered. We even were able to talk about it before he died. So much suffering, so much pain. For that little girl, for little Lauren. The little Lauren that broke and got a label. Who's sitting here on Moving on TV telling you that even though I don't like footballers and I want nothing to do with them, I am bringing on someone to talk about football because you do. And because there's a message behind it. My father loved it. Martin loves it. Some friends of mine love football. It's a game. It's just a game. It's the implications of all the money and the homelessness and that I don't like. All the trimmings around it. The old days, people used to get like hardly anything. They got paid hardly anything to kick a ball around. Like Bobby Charlton and all the real gut footballers. They never got paid to do it. They did it because they loved it. Like real artists that go on the stage because they love it. So we're cleaning up the mess. And so again, Trigger Me D, I'm going to do another Trigger Me D today, is about the bullying and terrorism, growing up with terrorism. So you've got 3 programs now. We've got the radiogram, we've got the bubbles, and now we've got terrorism in my childhood. So the bullies are bringing it all up, cleaning up the mess that's stuck inside Lauren, that stops her from functioning sometimes, from so much unhappiness, because it never got sorted out. You see, if you're young enough, I recommend you go to therapy. If you need to deal with big issues like I had in my childhood, then imagine if I'd gone to therapy. I wouldn't be sitting here now dealing with these issues, would I? Cleaning up the mess that my parents, you know, my parents used to say, oh, we'll drag you to a psychiatrist because you won't eat properly. I was a child that had just been abused. I was a child that was dragged all the way from Ireland, from the safety to wars. At 7 years old, lost their friends, lost their family. I don't even, my grandfather, I saw him maybe once or twice. I never saw him again. I was stuck literally with Baba Bertha, my grandmother, the whinger, the complainer. You know, I had parents that never had time for me. They were always too busy and too stressed out. And then I got abused by the dentist. And then they say to me, I'm going to drag you to a psychiatrist because there's something wrong with you. Instead of sitting down with me and saying, Lauren, we love you. There was only one person in my childhood. And I tell you my whole childhood because I need you to know in order to understand why I'm sane and balanced and why I do moving on TV, because I want you to be happy and I want you to sort your life out, clean up your own mess the same way I am, because my parents didn't clean up anything. I had a serious eating disorder after the abuse. I mean, I couldn't stop eating. I was so sick. And then I couldn't eat at all. A serious anorexic. I didn't throw up. I wasn't bulimic, luckily, because I didn't want to hurt my vocal cords. And so thank God that never happened. But the only way my parents knew to deal with it was, oh, I'm going to drag you to a psychiatrist. They made it into a punishment. The same way as Dad shouted at me when the radiogram fell on my head. All they knew how to do was punish me, punish me, punish me, punish the little girl nonstop, telling her that she's bad or she's naughty when she cried or when she made a mess. I wasn't allowed to make a mess. I had to be a little doll until we went to Israel. And then my mum completely forgot that she had children after that. She was so unhappy. And all she could do was work. And I don't blame her. I've forgiven her. They were both working too much. But what I'm saying to you is, if you have a child, you don't threaten them with therapy. You make therapy fun. You make therapy a happy thing. You say, look, we need to talk about this together. Why are you not eating, Lauren? What's the matter, sweetheart? No. I'm going to drag you to the doctor and he's going to put you on diet pills. And if you don't stick to your fast, Lauren, then, Dad would tell everyone, Lauren broke her fast. We used to call it a fast, bless him. Cleaning up the mess of my childhood. And you need to do the same. And if you have a child, for God's sake, don't bring up your child the way I was brought up. If you're in a situation where you're all scared, sit down together, sit under the table, get all your cuddly toys, make a little tent and chat and sing and explain and talk and explain to that little child what's going on. Get down to their level. My parents never did that. There's only one person that ever loved me enough as a child. Her name was Elise, and she was a kind of foster mum. And I never forget, once she said to me, Lauren, what's wrong with you? Why can't you eat properly like everyone else? And I didn't know what to say. I never knew what to say as a child. Never. I never knew how to tell mum and dad not to send me back to the dentist. I tried. They never understood and they just shut me up and sent me back again. You're naughty. Go back to the dentist. Imagine a 10-year-old little girl, non-stop abuse. Bullies, are you listening? This is the person you're dealing with. No, me, I don't have any issues. Lauren has. Lauren has serious issues that are being dealt with. And every time you carry on with your nonsense, you push her. But you push me into helping her to heal. So it's a double-edged sword. But it's not nice what you do. Maybe you should put your energies into helping someone or doing something kind. Whoever John B is who sees me, maybe you should do something kind. If you live near me, maybe you should come and visit. A hug, kindness. Maybe I see you. Heart, eyes, seeing beyond the eyes. When someone says, I see you, is that heart vision? Is that when we see beyond the eyes, we see with the heart? I'm cleaning up the mess today, and as I say, oh God, it's already nearly 6:30. I've got to go and do trigger me on this one quickly, and then I'll be back at 7 with Ethan. Join us. The thing is, when I stay on HAP for longer, so what I'll do is I'll turn the camera away and I'll just do the trigger me on Zoom. Because the more I stay on here, the more people join, which is really nice. I want Ethan to have an audience. At the moment, we've got 10 people watching, which is incredible. But use what I'm teaching you guys. Staysanedaily today is clean up your mess. And I am cleaning up the tears. I'm mopping up the tears of little Lauren. I don't remember crying because I couldn't sleep because I was scared of terrorists. I don't remember crying. I remember lying there in shock. I remember lying in bed in shock, and every time there was some kind of rustle of something outside the house, I thought I was going to die from the panic. I remember going back to Israel years and years later. I was staying with my parents, and the bin men came about 4 a.m. in the morning, and I nearly had a massive panic attack because I thought we were being attacked by terrorists. It sticks inside you guys. It stays inside you. And I am saying to you, do your work. Clean up your mess. Where are we going? Clean up your mess of your childhood. If you have issues, if you feel you're not happy, like today, I'm not feeling good after all the bullying. How can anybody feel good after all that bullying again? After such thick comments on Moving on TV. How could anybody feel good? But Lumiere, the starseed, the earth angel, feels brilliant because I'm helping Lauren to bring it all up, to vomit it out, to clean up the mess, to teach you how to clean up your own mess. And so here's another episode of Trigger Me D. I'm going to go now and come back with Ethan. And the hats, I'll just put you over here so you can look at the bathroom. Yeah, I'm in the bathroom, as you know. There's the toilet paper. Moving on TV transmits from the bathroom. Goodbye, and I shall